G'day and welcome to this demo of student onboarding for a fictitious educational institution called Guthrie University. What we're going to be doing in this video is going through how you could use WorkZerk to onboard students. And that's why we've got students here as the onboardees tab. You can actually rename that if you wanted to. So you can come into edit spaces and you can change what you call that tab. So whomever you are onboarding into that space, you'll want to name the role singular and role plural fields to match that. You'll also want to change the branding to match your brand, just so that it matches the logo, etc. So with Guthrie, it's sort of like a blue, so we'll keep it as a blue color, something like that. Will look good. And we've also got a portal banner image you can change. So that's that image there. Save that, close that. So yeah, let's have a look at workflow. That's the heart of WorkZerk is workflow. And what we've got here at the moment is one section within workflow, which contains all of these onboarding step templates. And you can think of them as analogous to fields. So quite often they are just a field, but they're very powerful because they can do all sorts of things. So if we go into the passport or birth certificate upload, for example, you can see here we've got content, instructions, got rich text. You can change here colors and headings and so on. And that's what will be presented to the onboardee, or in this case student, while they're onboarding for that particular step. So it'll clearly ask them to upload a legible photo of their passport. Now there's no inputs required for this step. That's why we've got none selected. But we do have upload checked. We've got maximum uploads 1 because we don't want more than one ID uploaded. And we are going to prompt for the expiry date. Finally, we've got approval checked. That means that admins are going to have to approve this. So there's a human in the loop. So in order for the onboarding to be verified, then an admin must verify that passport and check it. And if they need to, they can reject it. If they've accidentally uploaded the wrong document or it's not legible, you can reject it within WorkZerk and sort of close the loop on compliance. I'll show you that very, very shortly. Let's have a look also at the citizenship status. This is an interesting field. It's a single choice and there are 7 choices, as you can see there. And so very, very quick and easy to set up these type of things. You can just type in here, copy and paste from existing forms or documents. If you've got existing forms, you can use those and copy and paste literally into the box. So let's go back and let's add a student for onboarding. So there's many ways you can do that within WorkZerk. You can import from a CSV file, for example, and that means you can export your data out from whatever system you've got, whether CRM or contacts database, or any other system that supports the export of CSV. You can import it into WorkZerk. You don't even need to reconfigure all the columns in a spreadsheet because WorkZerk has built-in field mapping. So it'll map whatever format you've got to what WorkZerk needs when you do the import. But we're going to use the enter feature. So all this means is you just type it in. So you go, I'll call myself, I'll go Chris Smith, and I'll just put in an email address here. I might just use WorkZerk actually. Okay, going to validate that. What it's going to do is it's going to check whether this email address exists already in the contacts, and it does, and it's saying, hey, that's a match with Bethany. Now obviously Chris is not Bethany, but that's so that when you're adding a student, it will actually check whether it's in that centralized contacts database, which is very handy. And the contacts are shared throughout the space. So all the portals within the space share the same contacts. Anyway, let's just add me. Chris, well, it's not me, it's Chris Smith, but let's just have a look at a couple of things here. If we look at that little icon there, showing red because I'm not onboarded. Okay, so it's very clear. You can also filter by just clicking on these donut charts. And to invite Chris Smith, you would simply select him and click on invite and go yes. And literally within a second or two, he's been invited to Onboard. So what Chris Smith will receive is an email from WorkZerk with a tokenized link, which simply means that it's a link with a very long URL. Chris will click on that, it'll open up into his portal. So let's see what his portal is going to look like by opening up the link from WorkZerk. And you can see the Guthrie University AI generated logo at the top, and we've got the onboarding. So let's have a look, drop it down, legal full name. So let's just quickly go through this because it's quite cool. Let's put in a mobile phone number, drop down date of birth, put a USI in, just going to upload a copy of our passport. We're going to select the expiry date, and I'm going to tell the admins what that document is because that's quite useful for them. Yeah, okay, and then we're going to upload it. So if you watch closely, it does happen very quickly. That's uploaded now. We can come here. Now let's select our citizenship status. I'll be in this permanent resident. Yep, that's good. And then you're going to see that student code of conduct, all nicely formatted. And you're going to agree to the code of conduct. And finally going to sign it. Not my real signature. Well, it is kind of similar, messy. So let's submit that. And then now the final step is the submit button. You also notice this save button that does the same thing on the bottom right hand corner. So you can imagine if you're on a mobile device, it's very handy because you can just save it at any point. Bit of a time saver. And so let's just use this one here. We'll just save that and watch in the center of the screen. Is we're onboarded. It happens very quickly. Success, you are now onboarded. And what's happened is that an onboarding receipt has been emailed to me. Well, not me, Chris Smith. But if I was the admin of the space, then the same receipt would be emailed to me. So the onboardee gets the receipt and the admin gets a receipt. And the receipt is very comprehensive. It just lists everything that has been completed, all the times and dates, everything that was in the onboarding as a permanent record. Having said that, you've also got the record in WorkZerk, of course. Now, let's have a look. There's a couple of things I want to point out here. So within the back end of WorkZerk, you've actually got this pop-up which stays there, which is really cool. So if you can actually just keep the screen open and see who's onboarding in real time. So Chris Smith just onboarded, which is really handy to know, especially for visitor control or something at a site. So we know that Chris Smith has onboarded, and we can see that his icon has changed from red to green, meaning that he has onboarded. But what hasn't been done is admins have not verified that passport. So let's have a look at it. This is what you'll see in WorkZerk when you look at the compliance that's been completed. You can open up signature, and we can see there's a verify button here for that. So that's actually not a copy of a passport. And so what we need to do is we need to reject that. Now, when you reject it, it will actually delete the file as well. And that then allows the onboardee to upload another file without having to delete it themselves. And you probably don't need the file if it's been rejected. So from a privacy point of view, it's a good idea. You can override that. There's a little delete button here, and it will say, are you sure you wish to change the self-destructing status of that? No, we do want to delete it. So we'll go verify, reject and delete. And this is what we're going to do is we're going to send Chris Smith the reason. So Chris, the photo you uploaded is not a passport photo. Okay, so that's the reason. Let's reject it. Bang. Okay, so it's been rejected. We've got that permanent record of being rejected in there, and for what reason. And that's been emailed to Chris Smith. What Chris is going to do is he's going to go back into his portal. There's a quick link to go straight back into the portal here. So let's do that now. And let's see what Chris will see when he goes back into the portal. You'll see very, very prominently rejected uploads Chris, the photo you uploaded is not a passport photo. There's a new rejected icon here, and he'll be prompted to go down, and it's also displays in line. File upload rejected, please review the reject reason. And yeah, it's there. So basically what Chris will do is just come in here and he'll add. That's fine. It's going to refresh the onboarding because you're not onboarded now because you haven't uploaded a file. And Chris is going to upload a new file. So let's do that. Going to upload a new passport and off he goes. So yeah, that is a quick demo of WorkZerk onboarding students for enrollments. Any questions, please check out workzerk.com.au in the help section, and do also be aware of our 30-day free trial, which includes 50 onboarding credits for free in the first month. So take advantage of that. Thanks for watching.